All right, Pisces, ready to do your September reading using the Vice Versa Tarot. Let me see. I feel like there was something important that I was supposed to tell you. So this month I've been really focusing on symbolism as well as the ways in which other signs show up in a reading. So I will be pointing those out to you. Feel free to go and check out their videos as well. Also, watching your sun, moon, and rising. There can be a lot of insights in that. We start out with the Devil. And felt like there was something else that related to symbolism. I will be doing a lot more delving into alchemy and symbolism, specifically the symbolism of alchemy, and bringing that forward more in readings. So if you like that aspect, if you find that helpful, let me know. Leave a comment, because I will be looking for that, just to know what aspects to incorporate more in readings for you guys. Yeah, that is all, Pisces. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Let me scoot these over a little bit. Ace of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. I've really been enjoying this Vice Versa Tarot. Let me know what you guys think. I'm also getting ready to order, I think I'm gonna get another deck, because I got one from my best friend for her birthday, and she's loving it. And then I'm also doing a tarot swap. So I need to get another deck for that, and I haven't decided what I'm going to get yet, but I think when I do that, I'm going to get another deck, because I will be able to use it for you guys, and I think you might enjoy the change of pace. Also, I might have a problem, so we shall see. I think I would like to have another more watery deck. All right, so we also have the Eight of Cups. I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like I have one that reads more, the Rider Waite is more positive. I don't even think positive is the right word. It's more spirit side, and then the Phantasmagoria is more shadow side, and the Vice Versa is like very much perspective based. All right, we have the Moon card, and so I'd like to have something that's like earth, fiery. So I don't think I have anything very fiery, so something more earthy, something more fiery, something more watery. I guess I need the elements is what I need, because I already have spirit and shadow and perspective. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that might be fun. All right, so we've got the King, the King of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Star. Is that Star or Water Bearer? Let me double check that one. I'm gonna set the deck aside. I will keep that here as always if I need to clarify anything. Let me just see what this one card here is. That is Italian. I don't speak Italian. I wish I did. That'd be really cool. I should learn Italian. What do you guys think? Yes, it is the Star card. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. The Devil. Yes. So I was reading something the other day, and the reason I'm looking over here is because I have notes. And it had Justice as Capricorn, and I was like, are you sure about that? And so I double checked, and it was like the only place I've ever seen it and it had all of the signs as something totally different than what I've typically experienced that as. So if you guys know anything about that potentially being different, let me know, because I've always thought that Capricorn was the devil, not Justice, and I thought that Justice was Libra. Let me know what you guys have heard. So we've got the Devil card here, which I've been noticing a lot of detail on this card, and even though it's like shadowy and they're like tied in a pit, there is still masculine and feminine. They are both still wearing masks, but there's fire on the masculine side and a tree on the feminine side, which is like the feminine abundance and reproductive ability. There's also on the back of this card, there's also the pentagram, which still contains all the elements as well as spirit. And there's kind of like, there's a faith there. So, I don't know. I feel like this is definitely, of course, the Devil card can speak to ego, but it can also speak to Capricorn. So, I'm going to move forward with the reading, and whenever it comes up like that, I try to do that as well, because I feel like it can either be referencing a person or it can be referencing internal stuff, and we want to figure that out. So then we have the Four of Cups, and there's a crab here, which is a symbol of Cancer. And we also have the ship coming in the background, and the cups being knocked over. So this is a really good example of how the vice versa plays on perspective, because here it can either be that he's focused on the cups and that's what you see from this side, but if you look at it from this way, like there's so much more that can be carried in a ship than in four cups, right? So sometimes I don't know why I'm telling you this, Pisces, but this seems important. Sometimes when we lose a person, because we can't actually ever lose a person, but I digress. When we lose a person, we're so focused on the small amount of good that they had in them, that was the thing that we desired about them, the thing that attracted us to them, that we don't realize that there is someone with a whole, and I say this facetiously, but also literally, a whole boatload of that character trait or that quality that we desired in the other person. Sometimes when we see a little bit of something that we like, we're like, oh my gosh, definitely that is the thing that I want. But when we ask, we ask strongly for that, like it's the thing that we enjoyed about them. And when we ask for that and they aren't actually a match to our vibration of that, our desiring of that, then we get someone totally different, because this person is now more so a match than what we initially asked for. So within that process, sometimes that person goes away because they're no longer a match for our desires. I hope that makes sense. It's funny because we get the Four of Cups and then we get the Five of Cups, and could be Cancer or Scorpio that we are kind of pining after. But in this case, we don't have this. This is the front, but it came up in reverse, right? So we just see the rose and the two cups that are not spilled. But he has his back to it. So it's like, in this situation, the thing that we have, the object of our desire, be it a person, place, or thing, we don't have it right now. And we kind of love it. And there's the opportunity behind us, but we're so focused on the thing that has gone away that we're not seeing the thing that, the better option, the muchness of it. It's from Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why that came into my mind, but when he's talking about how you've lost your muchness, like there's so much more and we're focused on the absence of it. Here we also have a lightning striking the tree, the Ace of Wands. I think about that like a jolt, like boom, and like an idea, like this new idea, and it's like it sends you off on a whole new journey. I see that happening here. And when we look at that, your enemies, your opponent, this is the Seven of Wands, your opponent laying their arms down before you and they're gone. So it's like you've been so focused on this situation. You have kind of this jolt, a moment of inspiration. It's like there's fire there, there's passion, there's like, you're like, boom, and you're like, you know, like you strike a match and there's no fire and then there's fire. Like you're excited about it. And it's like that moment is what gets you victory. This moment of inspiration gives you victory over this kind of the sulking feeling that's going on. And then we have this here, the Eight of Cups. And it's like, it's both night and day, light and dark, and you're turning your back on these broken and battered cups. It's like you're damaged. Not damaged isn't even the right word. Well, I mean, these cups do look very damaged, but you're like turning your back on that. So you're releasing the part of you that is broken, and you're moving forward like into this wilderness experience. This card always reminds me of the Hermit, right? It's slightly different energy than the Hermit because you are walking away from an emotional pattern. Oh my gosh, you're walking, Pisces, you're walking away from an emotional pattern. You look at these towers, and I like that it's not this side, right? So this is Cancer. The Moon card. Yeah, no, I lied. I know that it's not. The Chariot is Cancer. The Moon card, this is you. So when you're in reverse here, right, with the words, with the crab here, because the crab is a symbol of Cancer, right? But in this case, it can also be like doubt and misgivings and like creeping suspicions. But it didn't come up that way. It came up this way, which is like she's offering you something. There's light, and there's this bowl which is green liquid, and we know that green speaks to the heart chakra. And it's like in the towers as well, we see that they're cracked open, but there's nothing there. So this is, I always look at the Moon card when it's not referencing an actual person, but in this case it's referencing you, right, in your internal battles versus it referencing someone outside of yourself, if that makes sense. When I see it this way, it's like dodging the tower. And I know that people say you can't dodge the tower. I disagree. When you see the tower, when the tower is on the board, the tower's on the board, like it's happening. But when it comes up like this, it's like it's saying, you saw the tower already, and you recognized it for what it was, and you said, I am walking away from something. I'm not losing something because there was nothing here to lose. So it was like, with this, you recognize that situation, you had that moment of inspiration, and you were like, nah, that's not for me. And you turned your back on it. And in that, you are bringing, with that green bowl, with the green liquid, it's like bringing emotional healing to your heart space. That's why it's water, and that's why it's green, right? But there's also that white light, which is that healing white energy. And I feel like this, I mean, it's like, it's the new moon or an eclipse, but it's like speaking to this past season that we just went through. And you were starting this healing process, and it's like, it's becoming more complete now. When I say becoming more complete, it's the manifestation is becoming physical. That's a good way to say it. We have the King of Pentacles here. So you're in a really abundant energy. This is masculine energy, but it's no matter. There's also the reference to the elements here, to the elements in spirit. And there is a bull, and I'm not sure what that, so that the bull is Taurus, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like it represents something else, and I'll have to look that up. But also all the abundance here, grapes referencing abundance. There's like a bountiful harvest at his feet as well. and it's interesting because when this card is in reverse, that is when it's in the light side, like it's in the daylight, and that is how this came up. So then we also have a three-party situation here, which again, this is a situation that everyone is aware of. There are birds, there's water, there's a waterfall, there's an abundant harvest again. Pomegranates and grapes are both symbols of abundance. So this is a beautiful situation. And this is like, you've healed in your heart space. You've walked away from this other situation that wasn't healthy for you. You had that jolt, that moment of realization, and you get to come into this kind of energy just by embracing that and turning your back on something that wasn't for you. And from there, we go into the star, and that is Aquarius. And which is the water bearer. And for some reason, I believe this has an association with the Pleiades. And also there, she's got her gold and silver cups and she's pouring out water. In reverse, we have that flower showing up again, which showed up here, and it's showing up behind her again. But also she's focusing in on her spirit guide up here, and there's the meteor shower. And I think of that as like just a million wishes, like, you know, like wishing stars and stuff. For some reason that comes to mind, but she's like conferring with her spirit guide. It's like, this is the situation, this is the energy that you have wished for. Also there's a crane. I know I looked this up. That's what it was. So this is speaking of a joyful and prosperous time, Pisces. You are coming into a joyful and prosperous time. I would also say check out the Capricorn reading, as well as the Aquarius reading, because those are the energies that are showing up here. But I think this is a really good time for you, Pisces. Like, you've done a lot of good work, and lean into that. I would also say, even though this may not look like the most fun energy, spend some time here, because that perspective and that clarity is going to carry you very far, and having that in this prosperous time is really, really awesome energy to be in. So you're doing great, Pisces. You've done so much. You've come a long way, and you get to revel in the fruit of your labor. Like, this is going to be super fun, but it's also like you're in a really healthy space here. So Pisces, I'm really excited for you. I'm really happy for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next month.